everyone, welcome back to the Career Cruise podcast, and welcome if it's your first time. Welcome. I'm excited to be here. I hope you are too. I've actually missed this space and I've missed talking to you. Have you missed me? Did you write in? I need to go and check your emails. Guys, please write in careercruisepod@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. So the Career Cruise podcast is a place where we discuss all things career, or everything that relates to you and how you handle yourself at your work, at your business, and even in your daily pursuits and your daily endeavors. We like to consider ourselves the medicine for your pain. The things that puzzle you, this is where you find the answers to that puzzle. The things that make you feel like, maybe I need a story, I need a solution. This is a place where we discuss every topic that you find that is quite relatable, whether it's at work, whether it's at home, whether it's in your social navigations and your professional navigations as well. My name is Violette Wambua. I'm your host. I'm excited to have you today. And even more is because I have a very exciting and kind of cheeky topic to discuss on the show today. We're going to be discussing office etiquette in a digital world. You guys know office etiquette. You know how it is. You go to someone's office and you're already thinking, I need to dress well, I need to look nice, I need to smell nice. You already know how to put yourself together when you're going into physical spaces. But then, are we really putting ourselves together when you're going to participate in a digital space? When I talk about a digital space, I'm talking about your emails, the meetings that you're attending on, whether it's Teams or Zoom, or do we still have what is that called? I'm forgetting. The thing that was there before Zoom. Guys, I'm forgetting. The thing that had an ID. Gosh, why am I forgetting that? I'll remember and then we'll write it down. And then even just how we send our messages, those are all, in WhatsApp groups, those are all digital spaces that we're navigating in and out. And we really don't think much about them. And especially WhatsApp, we don't think too much about it because it's become like our regular thing, our part of life, but there's really a lot of etiquette required. So then we can, first of all, it's good for our image, even if it's a digital image. It's good for our persona. It's good for how we relate with people. And it's also good to, have people remember you in a warm fashion. Like if somebody you're mentioned and they're like, that one who's always sending, whatever, irrelevant videos or irrelevant comments, or you want to be remembered well, courtesy of how you are putting your etiquette together. So pull up your chair, call in a friend, listen together, or actually share this video with them. And remember to subscribe as well, by the way, so that we can grow this space and have more career cruisers knowing how to put their life together in terms of their work and their business. So one of the first things we'll talk about is Zoom meeting rules. So now we don't have to meet people physically. I don't have to come and meet you in your office. You don't have to come to my office. We don't have to go and have coffee somewhere. And again, it could be on the other side of the world, which is a good thing. So technology has brought us all together. There's middle ground. We have Zoom, we have Teams, Oh, guys, I forgot just Skype. Yes. So there are people who are still meeting on Skype, which is still a good thing. So there's rules for that, for those kinds of meetings. And so personally, I have Zoom meetings, like I think 4 times a week, and even Google Meet. And it can be a bit taxing. So number one, put a reminder. You know why? Because I want you to be punctual. So punctuality. So you have to show up on time, even if it's a few minutes earlier, just to test your camera, test your sound, and also just sets a very good professional tone that for you. And then you're not scrambling there 3 minutes after or 4 minutes after the meeting is on, trying to see if your gadgets work, that kind of thing. And I think that's the digital version of the way people run into meetings and they're huffing and puffing and scrambling for a cup of water, so this thing of, can you hear me? Trying to test your video. Sometimes your background is off. You're trying to look for a suitable background to cover up. Maybe you're doing your meeting in a funny place. I don't know. So just show up early, like save yourself the hassle, save yourself the scrambling, drink your water in advance, be the one who shows up there calmly, or let people find you in the meeting. Actually, I think that's the best thing. Let people find you there. When it comes to punctuality, here on Career Cruise, we normally say it is not the virtue of the board. punctuality is actually a sign of respect for yourself and also for other people. Okay, yeah. So when you're doing that, also remember the rules for the camera. Is it on or off? Some people like, okay, so where I am, in some cases people want the video on, they want to see you, so your camera is always on. People want to see you, they want to see your facial expressions, they want to see if you're drinking water or you're bored or you're zoned out or whatever. And then in other places it's not a must, so as long as you're actively participating, you're sharing your ideas. If your camera needs to be off, maybe because it's interfering with the quality of the internet, or rather the messaging, because sometimes you find that some people's Wi-Fi is not cooperating. So if the camera is off, the conversation flows better. If the camera is on, maybe the images are scrambled, what have you. So those are things that you can explain to others depending on what is needed, depending on the context. Okay, yeah. So just see if it's okay to stay off camera. Discuss different cultures and expectations for your workplace or for your business. I've had clients who, when I'm having a meeting with them, if my video is off, they just tell me, Violette, we feel like we're not seeing you. We feel like you're not here with us if your video is off. So I just know when this client, Catherine, is coming to a meeting with me, my video must always be on, and then having a video on means a lot of things, how you dressed. Are you wearing pajamas? Are you wearing, I don't know, what are you wearing? Because then again, it's a professional meeting. If it's just with your family members, that's okay. Because I know family members there's a family who has a Zoom meeting every Sunday for 1 hour. And that's their catch-up time. And because some of them live in Australia, others live in London. No, 2 in Australia, 1 in London, 2 in Kenya. Yeah. And of course, the parents are here in Kenya. So now they have the Sunday catch-up time. It's 1 hour. Sometimes can go longer. But then now there are people meet you whether in pajamas or whatever. But then now when you're meeting your customers or your colleagues, you have to look a certain way. Don't let your hair be all messed up or whatever. I'm a woman, so there are a few times you pull on your wig for the moment, And for gentlemen, maybe you can wear, I don't know, but you just need to look neat and look like you are ready for this meeting and that you wanted to be in this meeting. There's a way you look at someone and you're like, this one, they didn't want to be here. There's someone else they'd rather be. So yeah, that kind of thing. So you have to maintain professionalism, even in a remote setting, okay? So consider how much it matters, depending on the environment. In some places, people don't care, as in even the physical meetings, nobody really bothers with how you're dressed, but just figure out what is appropriate for your environment and the culture that you're operating in, okay? So then you don't lose brownie points, and yet maybe you have just tied your hair in a turban and, gained a lot of mileage for how you presented yourself. The other thing is about, muting. I've been a culprit. Sometimes I forget to mute and people can hear everything in my background. It's not very nice. So yeah, consider muting yourself when you're not speaking. And then, basically just avoiding background noise. It's distracting and someone could be laying a heavy point, but you're just there. Maybe, I don't know, where you're passing through a market or something, or maybe there's noise in your neighborhood or where you are, or maybe there's rain. I don't know. So if you're not the one speaking, please mute so that others have ample time to be heard, and others can also hear the person who is speaking. What else can I say? If your video is on or your camera is on, you can consider using non-verbal cues to show that you're actively listening. So maybe you're nodding, or maybe you're looking like you're taking notes of what's being discussed, So there's all those smiling even, or laughing at a joke that has been cracked, hopefully it's a funny one. So, so that kind of engagement. So you have to stay engaged as a participant of a virtual meeting. Again, this is just part of the etiquette, So if someone is, maybe if you're being addressed, how you respond, the energy you give, it's very important. So that then you're not giving people dry energy and they're really trying to rope you into the engagement and the conversation, and you're busy giving one word answers, or just being so visibly bored out of your skull. I mean, come on. This is where you're at now. This is your business now. This is your job now. So yeah, pay attention and participate fully, you know, in it. The other thing I can say, now we are from now the meetings, which is now Zoom or, you know, the virtual meetings. The other thing I can say is about your email. Have you ever received an email and then at the end of that email, you read the kind regards and you're like, hey, these ones don't feel very kind. These regards are not really, really kind, you know? So, you know, that kind of thing. So it's good to know, number one, when to email, the time frame in which to email. Thank God for Google Mail. Now we can schedule when we send our messages. Sometimes I have had very good ideas and I've put them together. Hey, but then you look at the time, it's 2 a.m. And I'm like, no, if I send this email now, it will send up bad. It just feels very intrusive. At 2 a.m. email is very intrusive. So yeah, we schedule it and make sure it lands maybe at 8:50 a.m. the next day, you know, so then it's, or 10 a.m. the next day. So, you know, at least people receive the email when they've read it. So then getting into the thick of things at work, yeah? So figure out when to communicate, especially because it's formal communication. If it's my birthday, it's 2 a.m., I'm sending that message, hey, whatever. But then now, some of it's my colleagues, could be my boss, could be, you know, could be a prospective client, could be a sponsor, you know, a partner. So I'm not sending 2 a.m. messages. No, we're using technology to suit us. So we'll schedule those messages and have them released at the appropriate hours, okay? Just good to know, like, and also the thing you ask, should this have been an email or could have just been a text or a quick Slack message, you know? So figuring out those nuances and those differences in terms of context and content as well. So it's part of etiquette, because some things you send an email and like, should this really be here on email? You'd like, why are we discussing this on email? This person could have just called me on my phone, or they could have just sent me a message or a WhatsApp, you know, like that. So just figure that out. And then the other thing, you also have to watch out so that you don't spam your colleagues. There are people who, like, and I don't know if you've experienced this, and if you haven't, good for you. If you haven't, also be on the lookout. There are people who, they come to the office and between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m., all they've been doing is just email. And then you look at the emails, they all look very important. When you open, you see it's well noted on it, thank you. You know, so you're like, so it feels like I'm getting some energy to like really handle these things. And then you realize they really didn't have to, but then now they've replied to all, so we're all being roped into this. Come on. So just don't spam your colleagues, please, because the day you'll have a serious request, no one will care. They'll just think, this is just the usual spam every hour that you get from this person, you know. So it also just dilutes the importance of messages, and can even make the important messages go lower. So you end up not attending to the important things, but you're here opening this to small, like I feel like it's monkeys in a circus, just swinging, and then the important things are here going lower, or even to page 2. I don't think it's fair. So yeah, avoid spamming your colleagues, you know, and keep the messages, especially the important messages, keep them concise. So there's no room for someone to say they weren't able to figure out what you're saying. Emojis. I mean, I love emojis. Like, if you see my WhatsApp, I don't even think someone looks at my WhatsApp would think that I don't know how to speak, because all I do is pictures, you know. I enjoy the artwork of emojis and stickers and, you know, the memes and the GIFs. That's my happy place. But I also just know that it's not for everyone and it's not for every place. So even for you, please note that, yeah. I've seen people using emojis in work emails, like thank you, and then you put a cute emoji, and that's okay. But sometimes it can be misconstrued depending on who you're sending the email to, or depending on your audience. Sometimes maybe it's a group email and then you send an emoji saying thank you, or I'm really angry about this, and then the little devil with the 2 horns and red face comes out, and then people just, I don't know, it kind of dilutes the professionalism of your person, and even dilutes the importance of the message you're sending, because now people are focusing on the emojis. Again, I say I'm a culprit because I love emojis. I'd be like, yeah, we need some water, and there'll be a drop of water. So that kind of thing. So it's good to just see, how to appropriately use emojis, especially in workplace conversations, chats, emails, etc. The other thing I can say about office etiquette in a digital world, especially digital offices and digital spaces, you have to set boundaries, guys. You have to set boundaries. Set your boundaries between yourself and yourself and your work, yourself and other people, and your work and other people's work. Are we together? Yourself and yourself and your work and other people's work, and yourself and other people. Okay, I kind of messed that up, but you get the point. So you have to set serious boundaries and keep on enforcing them. It doesn't have to be like, now setting boundaries, never come here, never talk to me. But people just pick up that this one, after whatever hour we're not finding them, this one, between this time and this time, they're green, so we can go in and make all our requests and, ask all the questions you have to ask, collaborate with them, work with them, etc. This one, emails will receive even if it's 9 p.m., but guess what? They're replying tomorrow. So don't expect this person to wake up at 1 to reply your email. So it's those kind of boundaries that you set, and people might continue testing them, like always acting like everything is an emergency. But, again, that's human nature. So communicate availability, with others, like, hey, I'm available at this time, I'm unavailable at this time. You can say it verbally, or you can, keep on demonstrating it. Sometimes it's easier to show people than to tell them. And then also, please respect other people's working hours, okay? So that then you send messages at the right time. Again, like I said earlier, thank God now for technology. We can schedule messages when they'll go out. So then, please, I'm not sending you requests for procurement at 1 a.m. just because I had a bright idea, so that's just my thought right now. The other thing, you have to stay present, obviously, because it's a virtual world. If we don't see you, we think you're not doing anything for us, like you're not with us, or you're with other people. We don't know where you are if we're not seeing you. So you have to stay visible. And there's ways to be seen, okay, without coming across as overbearing, or like what you'll say here in Kiswahili, kimbelembele, or too much. But you have to stay seen. Like, people have to see you and feel you as well. But then you have to do it in different ways. One, there's a thing we say, over communicating. It sounds bad, but it's very important. I've actually just learned to just over communicate, but then again, you have to find the balance between being proactive, like taking initiative, doing this, doing the other, and then, am I being proactive or am I overwhelming people? So you have to find the sweet balance for that. But you really have to communicate. People have to feel your presence. People have to know you're on something. Something comes up, yeah, I'm on it, and this is what I'm doing. So don't just say on it. What is on it? You say, I'm on it, and this and this and this is what I'm doing. Clearly shows that anybody who thinks about that project that is being discussed, they know, oh, Violet is actually on it, and this is what she's doing about it, like that. So elaborate further, showcase your work, be your own PR person, be your own media person. Take videos where you can, take pictures where you can, share them, let people know what it is you're up to, and ask them to help you where they can. That way you're staying visible. Okay, you have to stay seen. The other thing I can say, you can put a status updates like away, do not disturb, just to manage expectations around availability. So then when you're available, that we know, we can come in, hey, I wanted this, I wanted that, I wanted the other. And then if it says do not disturb, then I stay away. I know my husband does, he locks focus hours, like focus times. And like for 3 hours, this gentleman is not available to other people. He's working on he's keeping the main thing the main thing. And then after that, now he's open, and then now we can start having meetings and, check-ins with other people, just to see what's pending, what's possible, even just to see if he's done, even for peer reviews, things like that. So it's important to just determine which hours you want to be off so that you can actually do the work. Even as a business person, you can be so available for clients and requests and maybe even your staff members, and end up not following up on the tenders, you end up not following up on the conversations, you end up not following up on the networks that you made over the weekend, and those are business opportunities that could actually slide. And so you need to have your own focus times. I know there's a research that talked about 4 hours of deep work, and then like that's the time you're now planting the seeds and plowing and everything, and then just the time now you can do other things which it's busy work, but it's not really the work. So to each their own, but yeah, it's important to set aside that time. What else can I say? Digital professionalism. How do you sign off your emails? Those kind regards that are not looking very kind, should you still say best regards when working remotely? So those are, what do you say? Cheers, best wishes, I don't know, peace, I don't know. So just figure out how to appropriately end an email. Okay, yeah, add it to your, and also just check the tone that you send your emails in. Thank God, because you're far away from people, you have the time to actually give your work a bit of a once over. How do I like this email? You read it through, check for typos, etc. I mean, no one is with you to beat you, so please just check what you're doing, and then when you're satisfied with it, send it out, so then you make as little mistakes as possible, and that your tone is also fantastic when you're checking off, things like those. Remember, maybe something I might miss to say in the Zoom, in the virtual calls, virtual meetings, your body language is so important. Are you looking at the camera? Are you looking at the computer? Are you looking elsewhere? Are you watching birds while we are talking, with you? Are you making eye contact? What's your posture like? Are you like, and it's, it's a work call or a business call, that kind of thing. Just there's a way to just maintain professionalism even with your body language and eye contact as well. So those are things that you can research on and look at yourself even in the mirror, see what works. Ask someone to take a picture of you or even just set the camera so that you can have a video of yourself and just see what actually you do when you're in a virtual call, and then see points of which to correct. Okay, so you can be there stretching and yawning and someone is busy there delivering a huge point, so they might be distracted. The other thing I can say, you have to maintain relationships. So it's good to build rapport, even if you're virtually together only, not physical together. You can actually ask someone, can we do our own coffee chat? And it doesn't have to be like you meet up physically, because maybe they're in New York and you're in Nairobi, but you can have your own chit chats and you continue to build rapport with the people that you work with. Okay, so then you have a bit of small talk. I know people don't like small talk, but guys, small talk is where the big monies are at. Small talk is where the big conversations, the big opportunities are at. So yeah, don't look down upon small talk. So there are small beginnings of huge things, eh? Yeah, your mansion will come from small talk over here. So yeah, so use that to build relationships. So then you just don't, I know we say, oh, do your job and go home, and that's right in its own way. But in this context of virtual offices and virtual work, when you are building these relationships, you're able to, feel out the other person, they're able to feel you out, you're able to enjoy a joke or two, find out that you have things in common, so build a relationship and then see what the relationship will do for you in the future. It doesn't have to do anything for you now, but we are here for a long time and a good time, and opportunities always find us depending on where we started the small talk at. So yeah, don't worry about they're going to be bored with my small talk, we're going to talk about the weather. No, ask them what they wanted to be when they're growing up. Ask them how many siblings they have, just a random question that no one will ask. And it doesn't have to be in front of everybody. this is for the early birds. One thing I like to do, because I'm usually the early bird, me and another lady. So that's the time now we catch up. So, what kind of cheese do you like? I don't know. Or what's your hair looking like now? And then we'll turn on the video and show it off each other's, show off my hair, she'll show off her hair, that kind of thing, so just keep building trust that way. So you'll see that it does a lot of wonders for you. And it also makes you look forward to the time when these meetings are coming on. You're like, this is the meeting where I chat with Julius. This is the meeting where I catch up with Carol. This is the meeting where me and Francis were discussing a certain deal, that kind of thing. So it's good to build those relationships. Don't just shut the laptop choop and shut out everybody out of your world. Do the most you can with what you have. Something else I can say, etiquette, office etiquette for the virtual, world or virtual spaces. There are times conflicts will happen and you have to handle them, even in virtual spaces. Okay, so you can have just check if you're doing conflict resolution on text or WhatsApp or those Slack messages. Check your tone, so then you deliver the message without shredding the other person into smithereens. So yeah, just see those sensitive conversations, how to handle them. You might have, and rightfully, you're angry about a thing or two. It's good to express the anger without necessarily blasting off your colleague or whoever or the situation in a way that is irrecoverable. So that's something to consider. You check your tone, the tone in your text. You might have to move some of these difficult conversations to video, because sometimes you write to people, but then what they're hearing on your message is not what you're saying to them. So you're like, hey, can we have a one-on-one? And that's not where the video comes in. That's where the body language comes in. That's where the eye contact comes in, that kind of thing. So that you tell, is this person hearing me? Are they receiving what I'm saying? Am I even receiving what they're saying? Am I the one with blocked ears? Those kinds of things. So you really do want to greet and say, hey, I hope you're well today. And by the way, did the flu that you had disappear? Are you better now? Oh yeah, so for today, this is what I require, 1, 2, 3. So you do a sandwich. So where you can, a soft message or a soft greeting, the requirement, which is the main meat, and then a soft sign off, so that it's always a sandwich of conversations. Even when you're dealing with conflicts, you can do a sandwich. So you go in with a compliment or say something good about, hey, I worked with you so well, very well so far, and I've had no complaints or regrets. However, now the meat, this is this situation, this is what has happened, and then you go close up with the bread and say, I know you can do this. I know I know you're set. You're always looking out to do better for yourself and with yourself. So I have no doubt in you that we won't have this situation again. That kind of thing. So there's just different ways to deal with conflict, even on the virtual spaces, in a way that makes people feel you value them, but you're still calling them out on the nonsense. You call them out, yes, but then you still value them, and they'll still want to work with you again, and they still feel respected. Because at the end of the day, all of us want to feel respected, all of us want to feel valued. And yeah, it does nothing for you when you're pouring vinegar all over the place and you're trying to attract, is it flies or bees? So yeah, let's go with honey over vinegar. All right. Yeah. So when it comes to etiquette, it will always serve you. Be on your best behavior always. You serve to gain the most when you're on your best behavior. You stand to grow faster in your career, even because of how you make people feel. So yeah, give it a try and let me know how that has worked for you. If you're an office etiquette guru, please reach out. Let's have a bigger conversation on this. I know there's gurus out there. Please, guys, if you know any guru, let them know they need to come and discuss this with me, because I feel like I'm just giving you tidbits, and yet there's people who this etiquette is their bread and butter. So we do need etiquette experts on the show. Let me know if you find one. Let me know if you're one. I have so much space we can, for you here. Let's discuss it. Let's discuss this further and grow together. And here's to courtesy, here's to office etiquette, here's to better relationships, and here is to seeing you next time on the Career Cruise podcast.